Good day, everybody. Good day. Coming back with another video here. Uh, I'm gonna really be talking about a lot of things from a business angle. This is very important information. Some of you guys in your career of doing business, especially in the commercial cleaning business, you may bump up against this. Specifically, my women. Subscribers and the people that watch me, uh, my fellas might bump up into this too. Sometimes shit happens, as they like to say. Sometimes things just happen. Um, but what I want to talk about is I lost two contracts um, in one day. And as I titled this video, yet I'm still profitable. I'm still probably one of the fastest growing in the Detroit, Michigan, and surrounding areas, right? So, in terms of profit margins, up high, my revenue, if not double and triple per quarter, based on just the analytics and picking up contracts and just being aggressive with my approach. So I'm definitely still one of the fastest growing in my area of an independent, non-franchise. Um, but let's talk about this, okay? I want to talk about how I lost these specific contracts. They will be what I would consider medium-sized contracts. Guys, I have contracts ranging from $100 a month all the way in upwards of 15 grand a month, a little bit more. I won't kind of be very specific with the numbers, but I definitely think this is something to talk about because I think you guys will bump up against this in your career of doing commercial cleaning business. One second. Hi, how are you? Awesome. So, um, so here we go. Let me go ahead and kick this off. So, losing two contracts. Number one, when you lose one contract, it make you feel bad. So you know when you lose two, especially at the same time, it make you feel some type of way. And it's been a while since I lost any contracts. Okay, um, but losing them make you reevaluate your business like as a whole in terms of where you dropped the ball, if you dropped it anywhere, what you could have done better to prevent it. It makes you look at a lot of different things. Um, hey, what's up, Joe? I love you, Joe. I hope everything's going great with you. But like I say, I'm definitely going to talk about these contracts. Let's talk about contract number one. We're just going to call them contract one, contract two. Like I say, they were medium sized accounts for me. Okay, so the first contract was totally, totally um, out my reach. Okay, I was gonna lose that contract anyway, considering what these factors are, and the factors boil down. Keep pushing hard, man. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Like I say, I'm still one of the fastest growing in my area. You know, and I kind of carry a chip on my shoulder because for me to be doing this from the ground up, I'm still the head honcho, so to speak, the ringleader, of my company. I don't have like a board of directors or, a lot of different people to answer to. I'm the sole person that make the decisions. Okay, so everything passed through me before it even gets signed off on, whether it's a check or whether it's any sense of direction. I do listen to my people when they have ideas. I think it's very important to listen to your people because they're the ones that's in the field. So if they come to you and say, "Hey, Fabio," or "Hey, such and such," I think, hang on, guys, I think this light is a little too bright. Let me see if I could dim it down. I don't know if that works. Does that work a little better, or do you guys kind of like it up some? Got that glare. Sorry about that. Um, but I think it's very important to listen to your people. And so here's how it happens. Account one, we received an email yesterday. Now this because we lost two in the same day. Okay. Well, was it yesterday? No. What was yesterday? Wait, what's today? 26th? Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday, Monday. Okay, so Account one, we received an email that they wanted to cancel service, and they wanted to cancel it immediately. Now, generally, what based on my agreement, and this is what I tell you guys a lot of times, in the paperwork, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You can't make them hold up to it, and sometimes it's not even worth like going to court or doing anything extra. Okay, when they want to cancel you, they're gonna cancel you. Okay, so a lot of times. You're not gonna get that 30-day notice. They just want to be done. When they want you out, they want you out. So with us, they wanted us out and they wanted the new company to start. Now I was able to talk them for the rest of the month. Okay, so we can bill for that, and then at the top of the month, July 1st, will be the termination of our agreement. Okay, so what happened, Fabio? Actually, a franchise company came in. I won't say the franchise name, but they came in very, 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 very low. Okay. Now, I told them based on the numbers that they came in on, because what happened was you build rapport with people, and sometimes people that's not your contact people know certain things because sometimes within companies internally they talk amongst each other, so they hear different things and feed you different things. I want you guys to listen to me very carefully because this could play a massive part in saving your business. You can get a heads up a lot of times. This is very, very important. Okay. Um, so again, I got a little intel on what was going on, what the other company or the franchise company was charging or whatnot, and I just cannot do it for that price. Okay. Now, 9 times out of 10, this franchise person will not be able to put a body in this particular facility. Now, it's rather small. It's a medium account, right? But the price is so low, I don't see where they're going to be profitable with this particular account. Okay, I will put it like this: what they're charging, my company was charging 3 times what they were charging, and the company was paying us 3 times. Okay, no exaggeration. My company was charging up 3 times what this franchise company came in at underbid it. So that's why I say I don't see where the profit margin, I don't see where it's going to necessarily be profitable for them. And if they're doing it, the owner, the franchisor, or the franchisee, I should say, would probably be the person that's cleaning it. I don't know how the hell they're going to make any money on it. So that's what happened with that first account. I got underbid it. The price sound nice to the client. The client sent me an email or sent my company an email. They said they wanted to terminate service. Uh, when it come down to business like this, I don't like to play word games, right? Okay, as you guys know, my assistant gets the emails. They feed it to me right away. So in this type of thing, I wanted to look into it right away. So I picked up the phone. I gave him a call. I try to ask him, what happened? How can we fix it? Because it is a it is a pretty piece of change, a pretty nice size account. Um, but like I say, we weren't able to fix it because they just wanted to go. I have an opportunity for a K month contract, but I'm procrastinating. Okay, great, great. So um, let me finish this, guys, and I'm definitely going to get to your question. Please stick with me. If you're just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe because it's going to be powerful stuff, I'm sure. A lot of stuff other guys won't share with you, okay? I give you not only the good side of what happens within my business, but the bad side, because I think you guys can learn from it. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It takes a lot of courage to come and tell you about your flaws and where you fucked up, or if you fucked up and where you dropped the ball or whatever, okay? But anyway, so this company, this franchise came undercutting me, right? So again, I was making 3 times what they were charging. Okay, what this franchise was charging. So again, I don't see where they're gonna make the profit. Here's what one of the personnel said to me. They said, "Fabian, I'm sorry to see your company leave because I liked your company." Now this is what another like manager type of person told me. Okay, this is from the inside. Okay, I like how you guys operate. I like the work that you guys put in here. I'm sorry to see you guys leave, but I will stay in touch and hopefully we can get you guys to come back. Now, if I'm a guessing person, based on the quality of work, because see, everybody start off good. Even my company, I try to keep my people energetic, which is why I pay them considerably a lot more, because I try to keep them active and energetic to want to come to work and do the same thing for me month after month, and not, fall and yep. Hold on, Tion, 1 second, and not fall behind. I don't want to start off great like so many companies do, and I've been been a victim of this too, guys. I actually started off great, right? I get a contract. I started off really extremely well, and then your body started to wear down, right? You go doing this. Do you have a Facebook account? Yeah, I have a Facebook account, but my Facebook is deactivated right now. And yes, my Facebook is 5,000 max, so I'm not able to accept any more Facebook friends. Now, if somebody delete me, now what you can do when I reactivate, you can send me a request, and if somebody unfriend me or delete me or something like that, then I can add you off of that. But I'm totally maxed out, like I say, for many reasons, mostly business people, a lot of my subscribers. So I'm totally maxed out. Facebook only allow you 5,000 friends. There are other Facebook accounts with my picture, but I'm not affiliated with that. Fan pages, I guess, would be the best thing to call them. That other people can set up or whatever, that's a fan of how I move and whatever, my business, whatever. So, but my actual account, I have it deactivated now. And yes, I'm totally maxed out at 5,000. But you can request me, I guess, once I reactivate. And then if somebody unfriend me, I will add you. Okay. And the name is just Fabio Hart, FABIOHART. Anything else you see is not my page. So that's my name, Fabio Hart. Just the way it sounds. Okay. Okay, so to get back to this, you guys, is that okay? I got that undercut. So the in-house personnel told me that um, they sorry to see me, go and that type of thing, right? But they'll keep me, up to date as to what's going on. But they're willing to bet that I'll probably be back there because of what's going on, with this total low come in price. Like they totally bid it extremely low of the low. All right, so I know they're not gonna make no money on it, and I'm sure their work gonna reflect that. Okay, because once they do the walkthrough and they get all of this, which I'm sure they've done, um, their work is going to show up with their price. Okay, you pay a guy a good amount of money, he'll do great work. You pay a guy, a little money, he's going to do the bare minimum, right? It's going to do less work a lot of times. A lot of times, okay? So a lot of times people don't have that passion behind that, okay? And here's, like I say, here's the thing that I know for a fact. And I'm gonna get to account number two second. But here's the thing that I know for a fact. This can happen to you guys, okay? So I want to make it clear and I want to make you guys aware that I do not want you to get stagnant with one account, two accounts. Please believe me when I tell you this. Yes, celebrate when you get your first account, okay? Take yourself out to, Red Lobster, Olive Garden, wherever you want to go, right? Because that's a big achievement coming from not having no accounts, okay? But don't get so intertwined with this one account, because you never know. You never know. People is walking in and out of that facility every day, right? And there's new startups happening every day. New commercial cleaning businesses, whether it's via franchise, whether it's just independent, they're starting up every single day. I do not want you guys. See, I'm in a position because, like I said, I'm the fastest growing right now in Detroit, right? Really, to be honest, no one's really fucking with me. I actually get franchises calling me like, dude, how are you getting these contracts, or do you want to sell contracts, or I'm getting emails, all type of offers, and I don't talk about this all the time, and I don't mean to sound braggadocious if I am, but I know my shit. The stuff that I tell you guys here really really works. It's just the only thing that separates me from a lot of people is that I actually take action, and I actually stay visible. I stay active, trying to get new contracts. Okay, it never happens right away, but when it do happen, some money in the bank, right? When it do happen. Now let's go to account number two. There's always going to be politics in business. Always. Don't forget, you guys, I got your comments. I'm definitely going to come back and read them and answer your questions. Please stick with me. I want to get this stuff out to you. Please stick with me. I want to get this stuff out. Hey, how's it going? Awesome painting. Okay. Account number two. Like I said, there's always going to be politics in business. You can't escape that. Okay. So here's what happened. Again, I lost two contracts in one day. I told you about the first one. The second one is my contact person, who was a male, was trying to date my employee. Say that again. My contact person, who was a male, the guy that we report to, who was a male, was trying to date my employee. Okay. So it made my employee, we actually got word of this weeks ago. And I had a one-on-one with the employee. I asked her, I said, well, what would you like to do? Does it make you feel uncomfortable to the point where you don't want to work there? Do you feel that you can handle working there? What would you like for us to do? Okay, I asked her because I need to know how she feel as an employee. She don't want to have to work there, right? She has to come in there. I need to know how she feel. Based on how she feel, I can make a educated decision as to what to do from there. Okay, because one thing for certain, I don't want to play with anybody's livelihood, right? I don't want to. They have families, they have kids and stuff like that, so I don't want to remove you from a site if I can just save you at that site and just try to decide what's going on. Okay, so I listened to my employee first, and based on what she said, I moved the way she wanted to move at that time. Okay, so then the pressure was mounting. It was making her feel extremely. Now, this was weeks ago. The pressure was mounting. He kept throwing advances at her, advances at her. Now, initially, because again, you guys, you might be in a certain situation, and it depends on how you handle the situation that dictate if you have this account or not. Okay, pressure clean business. I incorporated clean into my business when it comes. 1 second, awesome. Please stick with me, you guys. Don't lose me, please. It's kind of early still, for me at least. Please stick with me. I swear I'm gonna come back. I just want to get this out. Um, so again, I handled this situation with my employee first initially, okay, and I moved the way that she wanted to move initially, but the advances of my contact person was mounting, right? It was making her feel extremely uncomfortable at the workplace. So what happened was, just recently, I decided to switch employees. So I decided to remove her from that site, put her somewhere else, take someone else from another site, and place them at her site. Then I had to train and go through the training, so because they just swapped sites, right? So what happened was the director, the my contact person, which was a director of the company, had contacted me and they wanted the other young lady back, the one that I took from the site. Okay, generally speaking, when that happens, it's one or two things. It might be the contact person like them in terms of, uh, just want to date them or, physically attracted to them, or they like the way they work. Because sometimes people, like in this industry, and I'm gonna let you guys please hear me out, please. I know I'm kind of stumbling and it kind of seem all over the place, but please hear me out. In this industry, people get attached to you. And what I mean by that, once you start cleaning a facility and you're cleaning it on a daily or on a weekly or monthly, whatever the case is, people are going to get attached to you. They're going to get to the point where they know you by first name, right? They're going to speak to you, hey, such and such, how are you today? You respond back, how was your weekend? Small talk, it happens. Okay. And then it can easily, especially when you're dealing with the male, female type of situation where the male is the boss in this case, female is the worker. And this happens every day, USA. You might not hear about it, but it happens. Okay. Um, but we are in the people business. How we handle that situation again as employers and as business owners would decide if we have those contracts in the future. Okay, so when the person requested for the young lady uh, to come back, I had to call at this point. I had to call my contact person. Now this is the person that actually have the crush. I didn't want to speak to him over the phone. I wanted to talk to him face to face. So I asked him, would it be a good time that I could come and talk to him, or what would be a good time that I could come and talk to him, and maybe we can resolve this and kind of get to the bottom of everything. I didn't want to talk too much over the phone because I didn't want him to have an idea where the conversation was going to go, how I was going to come off, right? So we set up a meeting. Now, this happens, all the time. So, uh, and again, this was over a length of time, okay? So, yesterday was I guess the final blow yesterday. What wound up happening was I put her from that site, okay, because not only did he like her as a person, he liked the way she cleans. She cleans great. She's a great worker. She show up. She never call off. She's dependable. I love that, about her. So I talked to her. I said, well, I had a one-on-one with the contact person. We have an understanding. I say, would you mind if I just pull you back from here and put you back over there? Because not just him, but other people in that facility actually like the young lady in terms of the way she cleaned, her professionalism, things of this sort. So she came back. Okay. Now again, this is over the sets of weeks, right? This is over a length of time. She come back. She's working with it. She get harassed again. She get harassed again. So it got to the point where she threw all professionalism out the window, so to speak. I could see it came on her, so strong yesterday, or it was just very aggressive to the point where she was like, "Look, I don't want to work here no more. I keep telling you, I'm not interested like that. You're not professional." And it kind of spooked them because when a female kind of go off to the rate that she went off, it kind of make it kind of made that particular individual think that he was at risk of losing his job. He was just our contact person, you guys. Please hear me out, guys. This is very, very important, okay? Now, he's thinking in his mind, because the way she blew up, she can't do this no more. She don't want to work there, yada, yada, yada. He's thinking in his mind that it can go, to upper management in their company, or it can go legal because at this point it's a slim line between flirt and casual type to sexual harassment or harassing. Whenever you got an individual to feel harassed within a workplace, whether you're touching them in a physical manner, whether you're saying sexual content to them, whether you're making advances, all of this in a workplace is considered sexual harassment. Okay, so once again, I had to make an assessment, right? She called me like, "Yo, I'm about to walk off, and this and this and that." I said, "Please, can you hang tight? I will be over there." Here's another thing I want you guys to have, and guys, I got your questions. I promise you, I got your questions. Stick with me. Make sure that your employees can have they don't fear you. They have a point of direct contact for you. Okay, I don't care even if you're on a larger scale, your business, or you have these chains of commands and things like that. Okay, because for an example, if you have your supervisor, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, Meta. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Okay, so uh, sheesh. So I lost my train of thought, but anyway, oh, Jesus Christ, chain of command. Anyway, this person has a supervisor too, right? So uh you want to damn, I forgot where I was at, you guys. My other phone is going off. Chain of commands. Oh, you want to allow your employee to be able to contact you directly. Is essentially what I was trying to say. Okay, you don't want to throw them off to your supervisors and this, that, and that, because if the supervisor don't get the information back to you in a timely fashion, you could be up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. Okay, again, it's politics and business. Okay, and this all happens. This is why I lost this account. My employee did not want to date my contact person for this particular contract, so they insist of doing away with us. Now they had other offers coming in, right? Just because you work at a facility, don't think that there's not other commercial cleaning companies, be it independent or be it franchise, walking in there trying to solicit business, or calling them on the phones or sending marketing material to them. Okay, don't think that your spot is safe in this industry. No one is safe. I've taken over contracts, and I've also had contracts taken over from me. Okay, it all happens. I've taken over from small and pop independent people. I've taken over franchise contracts. Okay, I've also had the same thing happen to me where franchise, as you can see, uh, under came under me, right? So again, you can't think that your spot is safe in the marketplace. No one is safe. That's why I tell you, every time I lose one, my goal is to bounce back with two. Again, I'm still the fastest growing. It kind of pinched my bottom line ultimately, but I feel because I know what I know and I move how I move, I feel like I'm gonna get that back. I'm not really stressed as I would have been, a couple years ago, right? I would be really stressed when, if you got 10 accounts and you lose two, now you're down to eight. That's a considerable chunk depending on how much you was charging. That mean a lot to your business and to the bottom line, right? Now I'm moving a little different, got accounts in different states. I'm multitasking, I'm running on autopilot, got things positioned. I'm not feeling the pinch, so to speak. It hurts, trust me. Don't I'm not acting like it don't, but I'm gonna get it back. That's the way I feel. So again, be aware of the politics, and be aware that somebody can come in, slide under you, and charge a considerable lower price. Okay, so when you work in these accounts and you bill in these contracts, man, make sure you guys are moving properly with the funding that's coming in, your money. Once you get that income, once you send them out the the payables, right? Your invoicing and things like that. Once that money come in, please utilize that money well. Don't blow through the money. You guys remember, it's not your money, it's the business money. You're going to cut yourself a salary off of that. Depending on what you make is depending on what you pay yourself. Okay, so don't blow the money. Let me go ahead and jump right in and get to you guys' question. I'm gonna start with Meta. He asked me, "Well, why did you let her go? Why did you let her go back?" I let her go back because number one, that was closer to her home, opposed to where I sent her. Number two, I had spoke to the individual. Listen to me, Meta. Make sure you understand me. I spoke to the individual whom she had the problem with, right? And I ironed it out with him. I conveyed that with her, and because they liked the way that she worked, and at this point I felt like things was resolved, right? I asked her, would she mind going back, based on the talk that I had with the contact person. Okay, now remember how I did this in the beginning, guys. It's very important. I talked to her first, okay, because in this case to me she matters, right? She's first. So I talked to her first, hear her out, see what she wanted to do, all of that, right? And I went with what she wanted to do initially. Okay. Again, I went with what she wanted to do initially. I moved her, got her out of there, put her at another site. Okay. And I brought somebody else in. But everybody in this particular facility, account one, wanted her back. They like the way she do work. They like her, she's punctual, yada yada yada. Right? They were used to her. Again, you're going to get that. So all my fellas and all my ladies, please be aware. Why I don't have a website? I have an about me. I have multiple companies. I don't need a website per se. Okay. I'm not saying that a website isn't important. It's just that I haven't decided to start a website. I've been very profitable without one. Maybe somewhere in the future I might have one, but I'm extremely profitable. My company doing the access a little north of $250,000 revenue, and I've been growing ever since, right? So, website is not necessary, but it is an addition. It is a plus. I would say that's something that you might want to have if having a commercial cleaning business, but it's worked for me just fine. But I'm in the works of creating a website for my company. Don't know how effective it's gonna be, but we're gonna put something together. Um, but please be aware, guys, that you will run up against these different political things, these things, because you as a woman entrepreneur or you as a male entrepreneur, you personally might run up against this, where you might not even have an employee at the time, but there might, if you're a woman, you might have a guy that that like you in the facility. You're in there cleaning, you're being professional, you're speaking, you're smiling, and a lot of times people don't know how to take that, right? Same things with my fellas. Same thing. You could be professional. Maybe you're handsome looking. You know, um, you're gonna run up against that. And sometimes it's not always a woman on a male or male on a woman. Sometimes you might have, with all due respect, you might have uh, gay, right, or bisexual people flirting with you. So it's how you handle the situation. Just allow yourself to be professional. Just let them know that that's something that you're not, into. Don't even say thanks for the offer, nothing like that. That because it sounds like you kind of you know curious about this stuff, right? Just let them know, oh, I'm sorry, that's just nothing that I'm into, you know, and continue to work, continue to press towards. Okay, now if it becomes a factor where it's overbearing, where they throwing themselves on you, now you have to make a decision on how you're gonna move. I can't specifically tell you guys how to move when it comes down to anything sexual harassment, or if it's dealing with yourself or dealing with your employee. But what I do want to tell you is you can't help the way you look. Okay, if you're attractive, you're attractive. I'm gonna get to that 1 second. I'm gonna get to that 1 second because that was next up. I knew that question was gonna come up. That was next up, and I'm gonna tell you how I decided to handle that. Okay. Um, let me get back to the questions here. Okay, like I said, I want to finish that up with saying, guys, just be very careful with the politics. Now I'm about to start answering you guys' questions one by one. Be careful. Uh, Again, don't get comfortable. Always stay looking for new contracts. I don't care how you do it, whether it's by phone, by direct mail, by door to door. Always be looking for new contracts. Okay? Always remain professional. Under any obstacle, any circumstances, always remain professional. Okay? Keep your head up. Again, sometimes you're going to get let go for things that's unbeknownst to you, or things that's totally out of your reach, out of your, you know, jurisdiction, so to speak, right? You're going to get let go for a lot of this, bullshit sometimes. And then sometimes people are not going to get their way. They can't take you out. You might be working for a small law firm, where the lawyers, the head honcho, the lawyer might like you, and you might be married, right? Or you might be involved with somebody else. Or you might just be the type of person you don't want to mix business and pleasure, which would be a good, great idea. Okay, but you have to set some type of boundaries. You have to let them know. Don't and ladies, I'm letting you know, because sometimes women will be more standoffish about it. They'll be more, they won't say as much. They won't, they'll, give you some space. Ladies, you have a company, right? You have your integrity on the line, okay? And if there's something that you not, I can't tell you that you should or you shouldn't. I would advise you that you shouldn't, because then that could be a whole nother situation, okay? But I would suggest that you shouldn't mix any business with any pleasure, okay? With any of your contract people, or any parties affiliated with that company. So for an example, maybe you're not dating the owner, but maybe you might be dating the owner assistant, right? Or the owner, not dating, but maybe you might want to get involved with the assistant, or you might want to get involved with one of the employees at the facility or something like that, right? Again, it's all linked. It's all linked, because eventually it'll get back within their facility. Hey, how's it going, Carmina? It'll get back within their facility that you're dating, such and such a employee at such and such a company. Okay, so be very, very careful. My guys, same thing, guys. I know we don't always think with this head, but we think somewhere else, right? And it just may not be worth it. It may not be worth it. Don't say, hey, let's go on a lunch date. Let's go on a. I'm telling you because again, it's gonna be a whole different dynamics, right? They're gonna feel a little bit more closer to you than they did if you didn't, and the way they look at you and your business is gonna be totally different. Okay, instead of it being from a professional sense, it's going to be from a more emotional sense. Trust me, I ran up against that many times where different females make different advancements, especially when they know you're the owner of the company. Okay, because you have this business, they automatically assume that you're doing big business, right? Whether you have a franchise or you're not a franchise, they're just one account. So their assumption is they might be your only account. But their assumption is, he's a business owner, right? He got a business going. So, a lot of times people have their motives. I'm telling you guys on both ends, to my male subscribers and to my female subscribers, please be careful. I can't tell you exactly what to do and how to move as an adult, but I would suggest that you don't do that, okay? Because you don't want to wind up in this situation. Now, one person, Matt, I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you, bro. Um, Now somebody asked me something about legal. Let me see here. Okay, I can't pronounce this. I'm gonna just call you AB. Hopefully that's okay with you. AB say glad to see your company flourish. Can't take can't you take them to court for breach of contract and sexual harassment? Uh, Sexual harassment, yeah. Breach of contract, it wouldn't even be worth it. Sexual harassment would essentially be a case with my employee and their people. So that wouldn't be something that I wouldn't be in my employee ear and say, hey, you need to sue them for sexual harassment, right? Um, Number one, because number one, if to file the lawsuit and to get your lawyers and all of that, that would be something that my employee would do as an individual. You know, the most that I can do is alleviate that and put her somewhere else, or make her feel comfortable somewhere else. Okay, which is what happened. Okay, I'm not the litigation type of person. Okay, now if it got to the point where she felt extremely okay, hold on one second, guys. I see. I'm at the point where I want her to still be able to feed and take care of her family. Okay, and this is why I stand behind my employees a lot of times because I train them well. I train them well. We have training meetings. I listen to them. They're able to text me or call me 24/7 around the clock. Okay, if they can't reach me, leave a voicemail, shoot me a text, and I'll get back at my earliest. But I make myself available to them. Number one, because you need to know what's going on in a lot of these sites. And there's nobody that can tell you what's going on in these sites better than your employees. This is very, very important, you guys. And I want you guys to adhere to this, okay? Because this can be the difference between your business succeeding and your business failing. And that's why I tell you to hire great people because when you have great people that care about your company as much as you care about your company, they will let you know what's going on within your company, okay? Especially when you're not there. Like me, I'm not the one that's slinging a mop, you guys. I'm not the one with the feather duster, right? I'm not the one with the microfiber rags, right? Wiping things down. Yeah, I go in, I oversee, and I take a look at everything, and I check in, and I'm gone, right? But at the end of the day, I have people that actually work in these facilities. So you want to listen to them and you want to make yourself accessible to them. And you don't want to make them feel like they can't contact you when they really, really need to contact you. Okay? You want to always be um, a service, and you always want to be again visible, accessible. Okay. Again, let me get back to these questions. I'm sorry. Here, I'm gonna start from the top, and I'm gonna scroll down. What's up? What's up? Keep pushing hard, man. Great. Thanks, dude. I have an opportunity for 4K a month contract, but I'm procrastinating being scary. Why would you be scary, Tion? Um, it's nothing to be scared of. If you're scared to succeed, it's going to be very very hard for you, my friend. Never be scared to succeed. Okay, I understand when it's your first deal and that type of thing, and $4,000 might mean a lot to you. You might not be accustomed to making that per month, but you have to take a risk. And if you believe in yourself, it should come a lot easier to you because you believe in yourself. If you're not really sure of yourself, I'm not really sure if you're, really ready for this right now. Okay? Most entrepreneurs, when they make an entrepreneurial move, they're pretty sure that they can execute on that move. They're pretty sure they can get the job done. Okay? Let me see here. Leon said, I just lost one too this Friday. It was the last day my crew was there. Supposedly, I became too expensive. Expensive? Or maybe expensive. I don't know. See, sometimes they make up all type of reasons to get you out of there, dude. Good luck with that, Leon. Um, they'll call you back because the franchise won't be able to cover what you guys. Yeah, that's what they told me. Do you have a Facebook? Would love to valuable information daily. Successful business. Yep, I gave you that. Awesome. Thank you. Um, awesome. Also said, dear Fabio, I'm more of a pressure cleaning business. How can I cleaning incorporate cleaning into my business and window cleaning? It's easy. You just start marketing it. You know, it's that's simple to do. Like once you got a pretty good grab on the pressure washer business, then you just start marketing yourself as a cleaning company too. Okay. So you put it on all your marketing material. That's what I did with commercial, right? Started off with general cleaning, then I started offering carpet cleaning. Okay. Now the thing that's different with me that you might be different for you is that I outsource those jobs. I have the equipment to do the jobs, but I outsource those jobs. I also have painters, right? I also have exterminators that deal with rodents and pest control, things like that. But I outsource those things. Okay, and I just picked those things up over the time of just being in business. So I have independent contractors or subcontractors to do the painting jobs when I need painting jobs done. And let's say these apartment units, the apartment cleanouts that we do. I have pest control people available for people that might have pests. We cleaning homes and they have pests or something. We might see roaches or you might see mice or anything, right? You can offer that service to them, right? So window washing, the same thing. So once you get a hold on one thing, you can always expand one by one to another sector of the industry. Okay. Let me see here. Why did you let her go? I answered that. And the first account calls you back. Would you charge them a higher rate? Probably so. Most likely, Leon, I will go up on the price. What's up, Fabio? How come you don't have a website? Okay, I answered that. Glad to see your company. Okay, I answered that. Hello there, Carmina. She spoke. Hey, Carmina, how are you? Meta. Um, I guess I understand. In the end, she agreed or was okay with going back. In that type of situation, I would have moved her and made a professional excuse about why she could have. Well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to give them reason why you moving someone, right? You just bring them in. Um, because a lot of times, what if the person was going to another company, whether she, wasn't working for me no more. That's her personal business. You don't have to really state that to the client, right? At least I don't. Um, yeah, she could have moved, quit, yep, etc. Yeah. Um, Anyway, let me see. Meta said, anyway, I'm over Atlanta. I was underbidded. I had minor issues, but this helped me prepare for that type of situation. Very good, very good, very good. This very important stuff right here on this particular one. Hey Fob, Cody said, hey Fob, trying to get a client worth around 3,000 to 5,000 per month. Any specific business I should target? Uh, Here I'm gonna tell you what works for me. Uh, Office parks, I generally get that between that range. Office parks, maybe medium to big facilities like where I'm at now. You'll get that, or sometimes double digits, depending on just what it consists of. So like industrial buildings, plants, things like that. Um, I've also been able to get that in the outskirts area from the city, like professional facilities like law firms or um, accounting firms. Um, just professional buildings like that, but not in the city, like in a well-to-do area of your town. Like if you go into whatever, I don't know where you're at, but if you go into the well-to-do area of your town, you can be able to price it up because they're making that money. Okay, like some of the top lawyers, like for an example, if you go to some of the lawyers that advertise on TV, right, in your local area, solicit them, I could see you making about 2 grand, 3 grand cleaning their facility, depending on the nature of what they need done, how big the facility is, the frequency of the cleaning, things of that sort. But like I say, where I make the most money uh, from that range that you're looking for, 3 to 5 grand, is maybe like office park buildings, and those are buildings that's just maybe 2-story buildings or 1-story building that have multiple companies in them. They have these different offices in the one facility. Generally, they have an upstairs and they have a downstairs. Awesome painting say, how to contract or find out who in charge of the maintenance and cleaning, like the owner or the property managers. Okay, it's simple. Like when you go door to door or when you're making your phone calls or however you solicit, you're going to run up against their gatekeeper. You're going to run up against a gatekeeper. At that point, you ask them, who would you speak to in regards to commercial cleaning? Just simply put, that's what I would do. Okay. Same thing, whether you're dealing from a corporate standpoint. If you're going up the chain of commands in a corporate, let's say you're going for a bank, right? A lot of times you got to talk to their corporate personnel. Then you just call headquarters or whatever number that they give you to tell you to call. And then you just have to stay at it. Just figure out who is the appropriate person that you will speak to in regards to commercial cleaning. Okay. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes they put you right through. Sometimes it's a bit of a process. But if you want that contract as bad as you think you want it or say you want it, then you have to stay persistent and relentless behind it. Okay. Like I say, sometimes it'll come easy, like especially with the little offices like dentist offices and little law firms and things like that. You could just walk in those, door knocking, and say, hi, I'm such and such with such and such cleaning company, who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for this facility? At that point, it's so small that they'll say, oh, that'll be the doctor or that'll be his assistant. Then you can ask, well, are they available? Could I speak to them, at this point, or whatever the case is? And they can sing you through the notions at that point, right? So that's the way that you would contact the decision maker to land the contract to get the jobs. Okay. Let me see, Tion. Not a problem, Tion. Not a problem. I just want to make sure you guys, because like I say, it's politics in everything we do. In every industry you want to go in, it's politics. If you work for a plant, it's politics. I need to get out of my own way. Yeah, a lot of times, man, a lot of people do. A lot of people need to get out. See, and the thing is that you feel like you can't do it. You feel like You don't have the know-it-all to do it. And you actually do. It's just sometimes people fear success. Sometimes people are used to being so stagnant that when success is knocking on their door, they run from it, okay, instead of attacking it head on. Okay, you just have to know in business, just like in life, you're going to have problems, right? You're going to make mistakes. You're not done making mistakes. When you make one mistake, it's somewhere close by, you're going to make another mistake, right? But that's just life. We're going to make mistakes until the day we die. We're not going to always know everything. We're not going to always get everything right. Okay, we're going to make bad decisions. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I know, Tian, because I've been there, you know. But like I say, I persevered. You know, I wanted it bad, right? So once I got my first contract, you know, I thought I was, you know, big shit, so to speak. Then I just started getting, you know, other contracts in my second, my third, and I started building myself up. And you know, before long, like I say, you'll be up to that $5,000 mark, or $10,000 mark, or $8,000 mark, right? You'll be up there in no time. It's just you have to know in your mind and in your heart if you can really do it. Do you feel like you have the capabilities to do it? Do you feel like you have the capabilities to manage a crew? You know, like your workers and people that work for you, right? Do you feel like you have the capabilities to expand your business? Right? You know, go into other markets, go into, you know, other states, other cities. Can you branch it out? Okay, so all of that it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing, but it's strategic. Okay, so it's not that you just go to other states or other markets, just not knowing. Like you strategize how to do it. Just like I tell you guys all the time. Like people say, "Well, Fabio, how do I know when I want to go on a carpet? I want to do carpet cleaning too, or I want to do, you know, window cleaning. How do I know?" Well, like I say, once you set yourself up a base, you set yourself up a base in terms of if you start off general cleaning, you say, you know what, I want to make my first, I don't know, $7,000 in general cleaning. Not a problem, Melanie. Not a problem at all. You might say, I want to make my first $7,000 in just general cleaning. But your ultimate goal might be you want to do window cleaning. So when you make your first $7,000 in just general cleaning contracts, then you say, okay, I got, you know, where I want it to be in general cleaning contracts. Now I want to make at least, I don't know, 2,500, let's say, hypothetically speaking, in window cleaning. Now that you got your $7,000 quota that you gave yourself, the $7,000 mark, now you can go ahead and attack the window cleaning, and you might, you know, get that up to $2,500 if that's what you say. I want to drum up $2,500 worth of business. This is the way that you could systematically move along, okay, without clouding your head. Because in your head, the way you view it in your head is like, man, I want to do all of these things. I want to do window cleaning. I want to do carpet cleaning. But you have to strategize how to do it. You have to break it down in a systematic format, okay? Because otherwise, you would never get anything done doing commercial cleaning, residential cleaning, trying to do everything all at one time. It's just going to be hard to market that. Because one day you might market commercial cleaning, the next day you might market carpet cleaning, the next day you might market window cleaning, right? And it's going to be competing against yourself. You're going to be competing against yourself. So again, set some type of standard, you know, for your to start small and then build up from there. You start with, let's say, your general cleaning, commercial cleaning business. And you say, I'm going to get up to $7,000 worth of contracts. Then get yourself up to $7,000 worth of contracts, and then expand to something else. Okay. Now, don't lose count of your contracts that you have here, your $7,000 worth of contracts you have here, okay? Because you don't want to lose, but you do want to expand. But you got to have it in your heart. You got to have the faith in yourself, the determination. You got to be relentless. You got to be pretty sure that you can complete the task, essentially. Okay, this is like your own mini apprentice. Okay, the only difference here is Donald Trump don't fire you on this one. You fire yourself, right? And the only way you fire yourself is if you get clumsy, right? If you get to making mistakes, trying to grow too fast or trying to hurry up and do something else, and you lose of the price, so to speak. You lose your vision of what you have over here because you're trying to grow so fast over there, or you're trying to do something else. Okay. Again, if it take you the whole year to build up your commercial side of things before you branch off into residential, or vice versa, if it take you the whole year to build up your residential cleaning, business before you branch out into commercial, so be it. Okay, I would rather you take a whole year, excuse me, and build your company, your baby, your initial company, before you branch out to something else. Then you try to branch out too fast, and then now you're back at square one. You're looking for a job now because you lost focus. You got fired. What seemed to be month after month from different contracts that you had. Like I say, as long as you do a great job at these facilities, as long as you do a great job, they're gonna keep cutting the check. The only person in the world who can fire you is you. If you do great, they're gonna continue to count it. They cut the check. Again, you guys, I have accounts in Georgia. I have accounts in Ohio, but I spend most of my time in Michigan, right? But I'm steady month after month, week after week, because I do have some biweekly billings. I'm steady billing them. Okay, you check up on them every quarter or every so often, however you decide to do it. Don't check up too frequent, because what to happen is you do a great service to the cleaning community, Fab. I think I speak for us all. Say you're appreciated. Thank you, bud. I try, because I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys win. I know it's not an easy task, and I know I sympathize with you because 2012 wasn't too far ago, right? It wasn't too long ago, right? And that's when I started, and it was a struggle. I was asking the same question to you that you guys asked me to my mentors. They was cutting and drying. They weren't breaking things down. They would tell me something, and I would say, okay, but what if this and what if that? But then you want to respect their time, and they have their life and they're busy. My mentors to this day, man, they only give me like 2 minutes at a time. We might do a lunch maybe once, every 3 months or something, where I can just sit down and pick their brain, and we go out. But my mentors are millionaires in this industry. They really do this business. They have other business and investments and different things that they off into, right? And they still run their cleaning business. But I can still pick up the phone now. I don't harass them or email them as much or text them, because I feel like I got a pretty good grab on everything, right? But everything that they tell me, I listen to. Uh, I don't try to make everything that they say fit, because what fit for them may not fit for me. But I will adhere to. I will take notes of it. I will listen to it. And if I can utilize it, I'll utilize it. If I can, or it just doesn't work for me, it might work for them. That don't mean it's a bad deal. It's a bad situation. Again, what worked for other people may not work for you. But it's okay to listen to where they're coming from, right? To listen to them, and if you can use it, use it. If you can't use it, don't worry about it. Use what you can use. Whatever you can't use, then don't worry about it. Right? So that's my philosophy. So that's why, I want to see you guys win. I sympathize with it. Um, that's why I stress a lot of the stuff that I stress in terms of just staying motivated and the paperwork and all of that. I mean, because this stuff is very, very important. I wouldn't tell you I wouldn't stress this stuff if it didn't have no meaning or have no place. Okay, it's again, you have to stay persistent. You have to stay consistent. Okay, the motivational aspect of doing business is just what it is. You got to stay motivated. You got to get out there. No one is going to do it but you. I tell people all the time, you're either going to uh, put in time or put in dollars. And basically, what that means is, if you don't have the dollars, then you have to put in the time. If you don't have the dollars, then you have to put in the time. This is what I like to call sweat equity. Okay. Now, if you have the dollars that you can hire somebody to canvas the areas and pick up new contracts and go door to door and make your phone calls and do things like this for you, so be it. Go ahead and, get that wonderful person, pay them well, and let them, drum up new business for you. Okay. If you can afford to do it that way. But I would say the vast majority of us just won't have the money for it in the very, very beginning. So sweat equity is what it's going to take. Okay. That's why a lot of people get comfortable with franchising. You know, And I'm not the franchising type of person. Again, I just feel like franchising is a way of being a glorified employee. They eat off of what you do. You invest into the thing, and then they have these royalties that come off of it, and the taxes, and they cut you the check. No, no, I just want the check from the person I'm contracted through, and I want to disperse where the money go and the taxes and employees. I want to do that, right? I feel like to me, I feel like I'm in a 360. I will feel like I'm in a 360 deal. What the music industry would call a 360. That's like Universal, Cash Money, Young Money, and OVO, right? So the way it works is everybody get paid from everybody, right? So Universal get paid from what everybody else is doing. Cash Money, Universal, OVO, which is Drake's thing, right? Young Money is Lil Wayne thing. Cash Money is Baby thing. That type of thing. Like I don't want to be in a 360 where a lot of hands got to touch my money before I touch it. I just want to say, hey, Mr. Roger at such and such a company, hey, I would like to be your cleaner. He contract me to be his cleaner. He cut the check directly through, directly to me. I don't want a middleman to take out the taxes and then disperse what I'm supposed to get, right? Because then at that time, I might as well go work for Subway or something, right? I might as well go work for, somebody. Okay. When are you coming to Edmonton? I think the Rocky Mountains. Want to see you around. Wow, I love Edmonton. Are you Canadian too? I'm from Toronto. Are you Canadian? From Edmonton, Alberta? They can help me get an account. Um, I don't know. I'll probably be in Canada sometime this summer. I don't know if I'm be in Edmonton, but I'll try to keep you posted. I'll try to make way to Edmonton. It's people all over the country that want to see me. They ask me, "No, I'm living here." Oh, okay. You living in the States? Okay. Yeah. It's people all over that want to see me. They say, Fabio, once you do these seminars and things like that, and go state to state. Yeah, yeah. I'm Canadian. I'm from Toronto. Um, but they say they want to see you. Do these. Um, oh, oh no, you live in Edmonton. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You live in Edmonton. Okay, okay. So are you not? Okay, so are you not Canadian, but you just kind of migrated to Edmonton? That's a beautiful place, actually, Edmonton, Alberta. Alberta. Yeah. Okay, okay. So you're from the States and you just migrate. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, man, that. Like I said, that's just what it is. I do want you guys to win. The stuff that I speak is common sense. It's just not common practice. It's not easy. If there's anybody, you're from Mexico. Okay, okay, Mexico. Okay, been in Mexico before. It's been a very long time, but I've been there before. Hey, Fab, interview tips for hiring people. The best thing that I could tell you, dude, is once people put in applications with you, right, or however overlook the applications. You know, try to get a good feel for them through the applications first, and always have a base of questions that you want to ask, like why would you want to work for us? That's one that I use a lot. um, you want to ask about their track record. Do they have cleaning experience? If so, how much? What other companies have they worked for? And I love people that ask me. I love people that ask me about. I mean, I love when I ask people have they worked for other cleaning companies, and then they tell me the cleaning company, and then I actually have them make me a list of contracts that they worked at, and they do. I say, well, what some of the companies you guys worked at? What some of the contracts that they had? And as a vicious businessman as I am, I'll take that information and then I'll have my people reach out to them and solicit the business. It's a cutthroat industry, but I want to win. My brother used to tell me, said, Fob, win if you can, cheat if you must, but win at all costs. Win if you can, cheat if you must, but win at all costs. And the way I took that as an adult, looking at it now, is like, man, I just got to win by any means. That's basically essentially what he's saying. I got to win by any means. So that's what I do. Like for people that say, "Oh, I have cleaning experience. I worked for this cleaning company before." I say, "Great, that's awesome." I say, "What contracts have you guys? What type of contracts they have over there?" They'll say, "Oh, they have a lot of banks or they have a lot of auto dealerships." I say, "Great." I say, um, "What? Can you give me a list of contracts? Give me about 5 contracts that you guys worked at." And yeah, yeah, I say, I just want to follow up and see how you were as an employee over there. I'm giving you guys some tips here, so I hope you take notes. I say, I want to see how you were as an employee over there, make sure, you had was you a pretty good employee over there? Yeah, I was a pretty good employee. They liked me over there. I actually like working for the dealership. They give you the whole spiel about it. And I'll say, okay, great. So they give me about 5 or 6. They jot them down, give me the names and numbers, which is all I need. And then I have my people go in and attack it. I just go over there and see if I can slide under there and get the contract from whoever they had, whoever she worked for last that had the contract. I try to take it over. So, work phone. What's up, dude? Guys, got any questions for me? Did you guys understand what I was talking about earlier? Nice, thank you. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. So that's kind of how you will want to do it. Do have a list of questions already jotted down, and just use those list of questions. You can make those questions up like tonight, or you can Google interview questions to ask a new employee. Just see what the internet is saying, and if it sounds like something that worked for you. And that's the one thing I like the power of Google. I like because Google give you a lot of information, right? If you don't have any clue and you never did anything before, Google a lot of times will give you formats and templates and different ways uh, to attack certain situations. And once you get the hang of it, you might not do it the way Google said do it or the way I said do it. You might find a different way to do it. But it's cool at that point because now you have a hang of it. Okay, so I would say utilize Google to the hilt, but make it personable. Whatever. That's why I say you can jot it down. Me, I generally have a set of questions I like to ask. Once I get that person, get a good feel for them, get that person in front of me. Um, like I said, I tend to ask them, have they done cleaning before? If so, how long? What some of the companies they work for? What some of the contracts they've had? Different things like that. Why you want to work for us? How did you hear about us? Is another question I like to ask. Um, what type of pay are you looking for? Just to get an idea what type of pay. That don't mean you're necessarily gonna pay them the type of pay they're looking for. You just kind of want to get an idea what type of pay they're looking for. Um, you ask them a few questions, and then you let them know about your company, your motto, what you stand for, how you operate. Um, the type of schedules you have for work. Work schedules that you have, hours, the pay that you're offering, and if they accept, and you feel comfortable with them based on the conversation that you had in the interview, then hire them. You know, you give them certain scenarios. You ask them certain questions like, if you've seen another employee, stealing pens out of the supply room, what would you do? You just ask them certain questions and see how they would reply to them. Um, Naturally speaking, if they're smart, they're gonna answer the question uh, the the right way, so to speak. They're not gonna just, even if they're gonna do a move a lot different, they will be smart to answer it the right way. But anyway, yeah, that's the way I would suggest that you guys do it. You guys have any more questions? Since you have me on here, do you have any questions about anything that I talked about earlier on this live in regards to the 2 accounts that I lost? Again, like I say, to just recap for anybody new, I lost 2 contracts. One um, was because I got, how should I train them? Well, each building is different. Each building is different. Okay, so the training is going to be a little different. but you can order like training videos and DVDs and things like this, right? Which I have. And then you just call a little meeting where you have like maybe, a conference room, have like a TV, a big call a meeting and have them all sit down and look at this training video because training is a big part of your business. Okay, it's a big part of the business. Without that training, you're going to lose. I'm here to tell you, you're going to lose accounts and you're going to lose employees, right? So you got to have that training in place. But there's DVDs on the market that you can use, um, just to kind of give you a generalization, so to speak. Um, because you have a DVD, don't mean that that's the pure format just for all of cleaning training, right? Because every facility is different. So the way I say train an employee is you train yourself first, and then you put a body in that account and train the employee. Once you know what to do, then it's clear that you will be able to train somebody else to do what you do because you know what to do, right? So I would say train yourself first. You know what needs to be done in that specific account, and then you go ahead and you hire somebody in, and then you train them the way they should be trained for that account. You teach them the ropes, so to speak, as to what to do in that specific account. So that's the best way I would say train them in the very beginning. But like I said, there's a lot of different training guides and training material out there that you can kind of order and um, take a look at. You guys have any more questions for me? I hope you guys understand what I was saying. Like I said earlier, I lost two contracts. I hope you understand that. It's very important to watch how you move, remain professional. Um, don't get combative with the company that let you go. I know some people might be hot headed and they might feel like they want to cause harm on to them just because they got fired. It's not the way of doing business. You're gonna get fired, you know, a lot. It's just gonna happen, and a lot of times it might be your mistake, and it might be something that's that you had nothing to do with. You got underbidded, or the company had a different, yeah, they got acquired. So it was an acquisition that took place, or they're downsizing, so they're letting this company go. They're letting a security company go. They're letting this company go, right? So they might cut you, you know. Um, so again, don't always remain professional that way, because if you get combative, then you can never return there, right? But if you did good work, they know that you did good work. Even if they hire somebody for a less price, they know that you did good work. So they might try this person out, and I've had that happen before. How you lose them. I explained earlier. You might want to watch the early portion of the video, but essentially what happened was, um, with account number one, I got underbidded. Okay, and with account number two, what happened was my contact person actually had a thing for my employee. She didn't succumb to his advances, and therefore they decided to cut service with us because the contact person decided to cut service with us because she didn't succumb to the advances. Okay, so like I say, that's why I tell a lot of you guys, don't get comfortable, because I'm sure they had other companies. Like I say, they do have a company that's following up behind us. We're gonna work there until July 1st. Once July 1st hit, we're done. Then their new company is gonna come in, which is a franchise. I'm not gonna name the franchise, but I do know what the franchise is charging. My company was making three times that. So like I say, the franchise may not be there that long, or maybe they may be there. I don't know, but I feel like I got a pretty good up position. Even though I lost those two accounts, like I tell people all the time, every time you lose one, you bounce back with two. That's always been my philosophy ever since I started my commercial cleaning business. If I lose one account, I want it just make me go harder in the paint to pick up more contracts. So that's pretty much what happened, in a nutshell. Um, so, yep, that's exactly what it's like, Melody. Every time you lose one, you bounce back with two, right? Because you got to make up that income. You want to make up for that. Okay, whether it's a big account or whether it's a small account. Money is money. It all adds up at the end of the month, right? So um, sometimes it's gonna be out of your control. You just roll with the punches. Don't try to force them to stay in your agreement because they signed this and this. Because look, at the end of the day, man, it's the money that you're gonna have to put in. You're gonna have to put out for legal fees and different things like that. Just may not be worth it, and you might not have that type of money. So you can't force someone to keep you in their building. Um, but initially speaking, when you draw up your contracts and your agreements, you want to have the clause in there that you can exit, on both ends. You can exit per 30-day notice, written notice. So that's just, a polite thing to have in your agreement. But other than that, you can't force them, even if they just say, I don't want you here. I don't want you here immediately. I want you to leave today. Don't want you here. Then you just leave today. What type of account were those? They were both medical contracts, medical accounts that we had. Um, the two accounts that we lost, they were medical accounts. One was more of a smaller base, and one was a medium size facility. They did insurance reimbursement, medical billing. They sold medical products. They were pretty sizable um, contract. But again, like I said, um, my contact person had a thing for my employee. My employee wasn't willing to give it up and stuck by my side. My employee didn't say, "Oh, I want to quit your company and this and this and that." And she's a great employee. She kept me up to date with the ins and outs, or they have this coming in, or they having a party coming up, or I was told they got this coming up. She would always text me, keep me abreast as to what's going on. You know, what's new, what she heard through the grapevine, or what someone told her. So she would always, and those are the type of employees you want to have, you guys. You want to have those employees that really care about the job, you know, and those should be the employees that you take care of. So even though we don't have that contract, it's not like she's losing hours because I made sure she had more work. I made sure she had work because again, at the end of the day, like losing the contract, and that's why I tell you guys to stay relentless behind looking for contracts because at the end of the day, when you get fired or when something happen, it don't just affect you. It affect people under you. And that's why I work so hard and so diligently. How long are the contracts? What do you mean, how long are the contracts? That's why I work so hard and work so diligently in getting new contracts because, and stand on top of everything because, again, one wrong mistake that I make cannot just affect my bottom line, affect me, affect my business a year, a month. Oh, how long have I had those contracts? One for approximately 9 months, and the other one a little over 2 years. No, actually, close to 2 years, about 2 years, with one. So one was about 9 months, you know, maybe approaching a year, and the other one was pretty close to 2 years. But so you definitely want to, stay on top of the employees, make sure you're accessible. When they call you, please answer your phone. Don't just say, "Oh, that's Tyler." What do he want? Oh, that's Chanel. What do she want? That's Amy. That's Elizabeth. What she want? Right? Don't be like that, you guys. Don't be like that. Okay? If you're not gonna answer the phone for no one else, answer the phone for them because you don't know what they're calling for. Rather they're calling off. I know people they don't want to answer their phones because they're scared that because the employee is calling, they're calling off. Man, if they're calling off, you need to know this, okay? Because you need to get another body at that site or you need to figure something out. But you're not answering the phone and not returning their phone or returning their text message. You're digging yourself a hole. So again, you want to be accessible to your employees, you guys. Be accessible. Also, don't be too friendly with them. The space that I'm in, we have a good uh, culture within my organization, within my company. I'm accessible. I joke with them. Talk to them. I have profit sharing with my top people. Where I share the profits at the end of the year to get an additional bonus check. I give them incentives for doing great work. Okay, trying to get in on this field. I'm gonna be ordering from you this week. Keep up the good work. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, man, it's really simplistic once you guys start building your system. Once you start getting momentum, it's at that point because, like right now, here's the thing, and you guys may agree with me. Here's the thing. Right now, it's scary, right? It's scary because you never did it before. Like you might have never picked up a contract before, right? But once you pick up a contract, you get that momentum going. Trust me, I listen when I tell you guys, I was more worried about getting fired in the beginning once I picked up contracts than I was picking up new contracts. Like I'm like, oh man, I just hope I don't mess up, and I hope they don't just let me go, because again, I needed that money in the beginning, right? Not only to grow my business, but I needed it personal. Like my bank account was dwindling. I didn't have a job in the beginning. I told you guys heard my story, right? So it took me 90 days to get one account. You guys, heard my story a million and one times. So when I got that, I was really, really focused. Kissing ass. Yeah, that happened in the very beginning. They say, cleaners, you guys doing a great job. I like this. I like this. You're doing a great job. That's because I work in the beginning, what was your favorite market myth? In the beginning, when I first got my contracts, I was using the phones. I was absolutely dreadful, absolutely terrible. Um, can you change your license to that? Yeah, yeah, you could change it. You could change it. You could change structures, incorporate LLC. You could change it, if you want to. Um, you just file and you would change it. But my marketing tactics in the very, very beginning was the phones. Okay. I was dreadful, terrible. And then I switched over to going door to door. Okay. I started going door to door. I was this close to giving up. Very, very close because I wanted to get an account in 60 days. I got an account in the first 90 days. So once that 60th day mark hit and I didn't have no contract, I'm thinking like this shit is just not for me. I can't do it. It's just not for me. But something told me, Fabio, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You know, you're Fabio Hart. You can do it. You can make this happen. So it was an ego thing. I had to prove to myself that I could make it happen. And then once I got my first contract, it seemed like everything else was rolling a lot easier. I was scared as shit to put the estimate in because I wasn't sure, if my paperwork was right. It was very generic paperwork that worked in the beginning. Putting giving him my agreement. I'm reading over the agreement, a gazillion and one times because I'm like, do I need to say something different, right? Very generic agreement in the very beginning, and they signed it. So I was nervous from the paperwork aspect. I was nervous from the marketing aspect. I was nervous from when I went in the door when they was like, no, we have a company. No, we clean in house. No, 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 no. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is where my mindset was, you guys. but I persevered. I stayed at it, right? I believed in myself. And over time, from my flyers to my paperwork, all of that stuff changed, right? I got better. I had people try to slide under me. I had people working for me at one point, whether they were employees or whether they were subcontractors, try to steal accounts from me. So I had to tighten up my agreement, right? I changed my agreement 6 times over the years, 6 times, and I haven't had to change it in years. So that's why you guys hear me talk a lot about paperwork. You want to make sure you have a non-disclosure. You want to make sure you have a non-compete. You want to make sure you have a great agreement. You want to make sure you have a great uh, estimate sheet or a proposal form. To fill out to do your proposal, to put in your bid, to put in your estimate. And I have all of that paperwork, but in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of that stuff, right? So I was just kind of going with the flow, learning as I went. Like I didn't have a Fabio Hart on YouTube that I can refer to tell me. It was other guys on YouTube that's still on YouTube to this day, but the information was so vague. I heard what they said, but I'm not sure if I understood them. Here it is. My video is almost an hour and a half, you guys, and I just take the time to. Is it a good idea to belong to a cleaning business association? It can definitely help. It could definitely help. You could teach certain things about the business belonging to a business association group. You know, um, do I belong to one? No, but I wouldn't say because I don't that you shouldn't. It could definitely help. Um, where should flyers to be distributed? Door to door. You take them. You make sure you put it in their hand. Don't put the flyers out in Walmart. Don't put the flyers out at the Kroger's. Don't put the flyers out don't put them out there. Distribute your flyers door to door, and that's whether you're going door to door for residential accounts or going door to door for commercial accounts. Because putting your flyers out, all that does is get your flyers thrown in the street. Uh, get your flyers. I just got here. What happened with the two contracts? What did you learn from it? Well, you might want to watch the early part of this video. Essentially, what happened, both contracts of contract number one, what happened was we got underbidded by a franchise. Contract number two was the contact personnel was actually flirting with my employee and making advances to my employee. She didn't accept the advances. So because the contact person got turned down, they no longer wanted our service. So they hired a franchise company at a very, very low wage um, or price, I should say. And so that's that. It's pretty much in a nutshell what happened. But like I said, man, you guys, you just want to stay at it. But yeah, that's pretty much how I market my business in the very, very beginning, going door to door. I got a lot of traction door to door early on, and I'm a big advocate of going door to door to this day. The phones is great. It's more calls ever than ever before now because so many companies are calling these companies the same companies you're calling, right? They're trying to sell them erasers. They're trying to sell them funding. They want you to donate to the foundation and want you to do this and want you to pay this and want you to do that. Then now, by the time we call, they're like, "Man, I'm so sick of all these people just calling us." Do she still work with? Yeah, yeah, she still work with my company. Yep, yep. I just placed her somewhere else, so she still work with my company at the same pay, and she makes a few more get a few more hours now. But yeah, she still work with the company. Again, like I said, that's why I suggest that you guys work really hard, picking up new contracts, but still staying focused on your old contracts. Because when stuff like this happens, do you provide transportation for your residential service employees? No, no, I don't supply transportation to them for them for my residential. No, or for my commercial. So it's kind of like, for an example, it's kind of like your job, right? So when you get a job and you're working for somebody, they don't hire you and say, okay, what we're gonna do is send a bus to you, and and we're gonna bring you to work every day. No, we doing you a favor by hiring you. So it's up to you to get to work. So, and that's pretty much the way I look at it. For residential, how should the contract be written up to win the bid? That's kind of technical. If you email me, I'll be able to give you more, you know, specifics of things that I look for. And that's bookfabiohart at gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART at gmail.com. Book Fabio Hart, all one word, at gmail.com. So for residential, is it the best to knock on the door or just leave it on the door? You knock on the door, try to see if the homeowner is there. If you don't reach anybody, I wouldn't say leave a flyer there. I would say leave a door hanger there for residential accounts. I find door hangers to be very effective residential on a residential side. So door hangers you can get done up at like vistaprint.com. That's vistaprint.com. They have templates already available. All you have to do kind of change the information up on it. Submit your payment. They'll send the order out to your house, and at that point you just start going door to door. You have them available if you don't reach the homeowner. Um, but the object of the game is to reach the homeowner. That's what you really want to do. Okay. Let me see here. How should the contract be written up? Yep, just book Fabio Hart at gmail.com. BOOKF like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART at gmail.com. Book Fabio Hart at gmail.com. If you have any questions about the contracts and paperwork and stuff like that, I can give you a better. Yeah, so Melanie, she say I agree. Yeah, so that's kind of where you guys. That's kind of what what you want to look out for. Again, your employees are a lifesaver. I'll feel so bad if a company let me go and I don't have nowhere to put this employee. Now they're unemployed. What? What you mean? What, Rick? I don't understand what you mean. So I would feel bad not having a placement for somebody that lost, because we lost a contract due to shenanigans, right? So again, that's why I work really hard, extremely hard, in trying to pick up new contracts. Mistype. Oh, okay, okay. Um, you guys have any more questions for me? Like I say, um, how many of you guys got? How many of you guys got at least? Yep, field supervisor. I do have field supervisors. Okay, those are my eyes and ears. From when I'm at accounts, I'm actually in the field too. With them because I like to know what's going on. I'm hands on. I never think I'm too good or better than anybody else that I can't be in the field. I like to know what's going on because if we got a problem, I would like to get to the solution of that problem as quickly as possible, right, and correct it before even management see it. So if it's something that we can correct, before the management of their company see it, or them, before it goes up that way, then let's go ahead and correct it. That's why I make myself accessible to my employees and the field supervisors. I do have field supervisors. But it's again, in the beginning, you guys, you like I said, it's just gonna be you. So you got to multitask. You got to make sure, the money's right. You got to make sure everything goes through the banks. You have to make sure, your legal structure. You have to make sure your paperwork is together and all of that stuff, right? So you got to wear all the hats in the beginning. But it won't take long if you stay persistent, consistent, relentless behind your marketing. It won't take long before these contracts start rolling in. You put your person first. You will gain more contracts each. Yeah, yeah, good deed. Yep. Yeah, I just like I say, because people have families, man. So the fact that a company let you go, you still want to have some placement, and that's why I work so hard. I work so freaking hard trying to pick up new contracts, be it small contracts, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. I got day porter accounts. Day porter is essentially when you're working there with the client side by side with the client during the day for the most part. Like I said, it's day porter. Um, so I just try to stay busy. I pay my Rick. I pay my employees by the hour. I got friends. They pay their employees by the job. I pay my employees by the hour. What's your usual time frame for getting new clients? Well, in the daytime, anywhere from 7 a.m. in the morning, like going door to door, all the way up until about 5 p.m. in the evening. Fabio, do you have clients you had for years, and how did you keep them? Obviously, with good service. What do you offer? Any incentives? Yeah, yeah. I have clients that, I mean, did you say clients or good years? Yeah, yeah, clients and employees actually. I have clients that I have for years and employees that I have for years. Um, like I said, you got it all come down to the service as long as you get because they want to make sure what they're paying you, they want to make sure they're getting that, okay, for what they're paying you. Me, I tend to want my people to go the extra mile because I pride myself on that. And I think that's how I've been able to actually be profitable, just coming from an independent standpoint because it was a real struggle back in 2012. So you think 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and we're at 2018 now, right? So through those years, my company has made many transitions, right? I done lost accounts, I done picked up accounts, and I done maintained a lot of accounts, you know. Um, I got people, where my contact, they'll text me, just on some, hey, how you doing type of thing. I try to keep it very, business. Hey, how's it going? How's everything around the way? Oh, everything is great around here. Everything was great. Just checking on you. Great. They'll do that. Some people, it's a little standoffish. They may be a little introverted. They're more within. So, you deal with them how you deal with them. And I'm talking about the client. But again, you just remain professional. Um, you check on them. You make sure they don't need certain things. Everything is being attacked that's supposed to be attacked in terms of the cleaning and what's supposed to be done. Um, and that's how I really remain, you know, a great contract. Employees the same way. I offer incentives. I do a customer appreciation day where I might send donuts for the day or pizza on the house or pizza on me, donuts and coffee for maybe like Tim Hortons or something like that. Um, I give them a card. I make up my own customer appreciation day. Thank you. This is customer appreciation day. Here's a card to show how much we appreciate you guys for allowing us to be your commercial cleaner or your service provider or whatever, I let it say or whatever. Um, and it's just random is they don't expect it, you know. We call the office and say, "Hey guys, how many people you have working today? We have customer appreciation day for our company." They might give us a head count of 20 pizzas. 20 pizza, 20 people. And I might go ahead and order, 5 or 6 different pizzas, put it on a company card, have it delivered to them. I say, oh, pizza and soda on the house. And they look at that stuff. And then they return a favor, you guys. A lot of times, with Christmas time's coming around, They give our company an extra check. They give us a gift basket, and we really thank you for your service. And you know, like you get bonus checks. My employees get checks, stuff like that. So a lot of times that'll happen. Miss Parker, I see you. Hold on one second. Rick, I see you. Um, but yeah, a lot of times that'll happen. Like I say, Valentine's Day come up. They'll give you a card, or a lot of my employees are spoiled at these accounts because they've been at the accounts for so long. So they had to make sure that it was okay with me if they receive uh, incentives from the client. As long as they're not begging, I'm cool. But if a client cut them a check for 500 bucks and say, hey, we really appreciate you. This is for you. This is 500 bucks, or we're giving you a $100 gift card or whatever the case is. Man, that's them. I'm glad that they give them that because that makes them want to work for that company. I don't take nothing from that. I don't say, well, you can't accept no incentives from the company. I don't do that. If they do a great job, they get incentives from my company. They accept it. I give tickets to like concerts, Janet Jackson, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Summer Jams, whatever, sporting events, whatever things going on. I get tickets. A lot of times free because I got connections within my area, but get tickets from like the radio station, right? And I'll give them to my employees. Here, go see Cardi B and Gucci Mane or whoever, Amigos, whatever. So that's just what it is. And I think when you do certain things like that, not all the time, but when you do certain things like that, it make them appreciate you, and it make them look forward to, you know, seeing what's up next for them. You know, so that's just how it is. That. But let me get back to these here. Rick say, what is the quickest way to market and bring in new clients? I talked about that earlier. I think door to door is the quickest way. Are you still with your first contract? Uh, Not all of them. Not all of them. I have about two contracts here in Michigan. I have about two contracts that I had when I initially started my business. Other Like I say, over the years, things happen. They fire you, or you let them go for whatever reason. But I have two contracts here in my immediate area that I had from day one, and I do have similar situations in Ohio and Georgia. Laughing out loud. Nice, thanks. Not a problem. Not a problem. You guys have any more questions for me? Just want to make sure I'm getting to these questions. If you guys coming in late, you might want to watch the beginning of the video once I post it to kind of see what the madness was about earlier. Like I said, I lost two contracts, but I'm still one of the fastest growing in my area. Uh, how do you monitor your accounts in other states? How did you get them? My other accounts, well, I actually stayed there, Rick. I actually stayed there, and that's how I was able to start a business up in those other states. So I've actually lived in Ohio. I've actually lived in Georgia, right? I tell people you can drop me off anywhere USA, and I will be able to get it popping. Okay, some areas might take longer than others, but I'll be able to get it popping, right? So I do have field supervisors in those areas. Those like my eyes and ears. Excuse me. Those like my eyes and ears when I can't be there. So what I do is I rely upon them to give me the details and to make sure what they're telling me is accurate. I follow up behind what they tell me with the actual contact person for those accounts. Okay. Because again, if there's a problem, they might be afraid to bring it to me because of what I might say to them or how they think I might feel about the problem. So essentially, to make sure that what they're telling me is truthful, I'll follow up with the actual account personnel there at whatever given account that that we have. I'll just follow up and make sure everything is good. And then it's also good to fly in too and check on, see, because I got employees in Georgia and Ohio that I never seen before, right? So because I'm not there like that, right? So they never seen the boss. They just know they work for me. They never seen me. So it's nice to fly in, and or drive in and check on it. Training for the commercial if you never done it before, or let me see. Also, painting out how you get to the training for the commercial cleaning if you never done it before. Is there a program that I can purchase? How did you learn? Get started. Um, like I said earlier, awesome. You land the account. You work in the account in the very beginning. This is how I did it in the beginning. Others might have other ways to do it. I do have a DVD that came with the course that I ordered early on. Okay. And it was very effective. It was very helpful. I used it as a training DVD um, in the very beginning. But every facility is different, every building is different. So the training essentially will be different, right? So what I did is every account that I got, I worked in that account first for the first 30 to 60 days. I trained myself in that account, and then I went out and hired somebody and put them in that account in my replacement. And I trained them vigorously. Okay? I trained them vigorously. So they know exactly how to do this account. And if I work in an account for 30 to 60 days, you can bet your bottom dollar I really know how to clean that building from top to bottom. Right? That's well in enough time for me to get the job done. So that's how I did it. And then I moved on, got a new contract, did the same thing, right? There was contracts that I had that was like, but the first 6 months I was cleaning my own like contracts, so to speak, right? Number one, to build up the revenue so I will be able to afford to pay them when I did start hiring them. Because naturally, if you don't have to pay no money out to employees, then that's more money that you should be able to save, right? So that worked for me in the early on stages, and then I got kind of careless. I don't know if you've seen my $5,000 story time video, but then I was able to bounce back from that. But that's the way it happens with the training. I mean, there are training DVDs out there that you can purchase. Email me, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, bookfabiohart@gmail.com, and I'll give you a little intel on where you can get training DVD from. Okay? And it's not through me. It's, a pretty good service that I think you can get the DVD from. That's Book Fabio Hart, BOOKFAB like boy, IOHART at gmail.com. Book Fabio Hart at gmail.com. In the subject, put employee training video or employee training. Let me see here. Chinner, I think that's how you say the name. Chinner say, have you gotten to the point where you don't have to work? It's hard finding clients because word of mouth. Yes and no. I still put in work. I still put in work. Because my mentality is just there. Like I just want to be the best, and I also want to make the most, right? Uh, so I'm always in the market. Like I tell you guys, always be marketing. I'm always in the market for new contracts. Always, right? But I do get a lot of contracts on word of mouth. More or less my uh, residential side of things. And I'm to be honest, I'm not really big on residential. I like my commercial side more. But hell, residential is profitable too. Majority of my um, referrals come through on the residential side, but I do have my fair share of referrals through the commercial side. Great info as always. Thanks. No problem, Rick. No problem at all, dude. Yeah. You guys have any more questions for me? Let me ask you guys, how many of you guys have at least three accounts? Three accounts that you're working by yourself. How many of you guys have at least 3 accounts? Just say me. Let me see. Just say me. How many of you guys have at least 3 accounts that you're working by yourself? Just type me, M-E. Let me see you guys. Let me see who's productive out here. Me. Okay. How is it working out for you, Rick? You got at least 3 accounts that you work by yourself. How is it working for you? I have only one, a hair salon. That's good, Chenner. That's good. That's good. It's better than none. How is that working out for you though? And how do you feel you can be a lot better? Like how do you feel you could take advantage and get more contracts? Or what do you feel you need to do better to get more contracts? Maybe I should word it that way. Here's what I like to tell people. Whatever you did to get one account, 10x that and you'll get so many more accounts. Okay, whatever you did to get the one account, 10x that and you'll get so many more accounts. Okay? Focus on customer service. Make sure your client is happy. I've been marketing with flyers only. How have you been mailing the flyers? Have you been going door to door? Have you been faxing the flyers? How have you been distributing your flyers? I need a good field supervisor. I really work the accounts anymore, but I enjoy it when I can. It's therapeutic. Okay. So you have employees, Rick, that work for you? I'm gonna tell you, Rick, the best way that I was able to get my field supervisor is from internal. Okay. And what that mean was, like when I was in Georgia and when I was in Toledo, before I left, I hired from within. Okay, I didn't hire outside. What that mean, Rick, is I took my best worker in both areas, right? In Ohio, Georgia. I took my best worker. I took him out to lunch. I had a one-on-one meeting with those specific persons, right? Those particular people, because I had quite a few. So I just wanted to make sure in case one turned me down and say, hey, because everybody don't want to have that managerial, task. It's not everybody. Some people just love the fact of being an employee. So I took to lunch, the few people that I thought would make good field supervisors and I hire from within. So I turned the people that was really employees at the time and I brought them up to field supervisor. You pay them more money and then they're going to govern. Yes, most don't want to manage, agree. Yeah, so and then I build up. But see, like I said, I had a lot of different employees at the time, so I had a lot of different people that I could, choose from. What I would suggest if you have people that don't want to take on the task is you place an ad in Indeed. Go to the form Indeed, put an ad out there looking for cleaning supervisors or commercial cleaning supervisors or janitor supervisors or whatever you word it, however you word it. Don't mention nothing about the money in the ad. Just put negotiable. Your name or the name of your business or whatever the case is and a contact number. Or and an email for them to send resumes to you. You look at the resumes, the inquiries that come in, you call the male or female that you think is best suitable. You have a one-on-one with them. You check their reference, you check their track record, so to speak. You ask them if they've done it before, or you can put it in your advertisement. Um, Looking for uh, cleaning field supervisors, uh, experience needed or experience necessary, or whatever the case is. And for those people that have experience in that area, You can call those particular people, set something up one by one, interview them, check the reference, check the background, make sure, everything is on the up and up. And then you can hire them. You can negotiate the money later. Like you just want to kind of get a good feel for them. Because remember, they're going to be the eyes and ears when you're not available or when you're not around. So you want to make sure that they're trained well and you want to make sure that they're good. Let me see here. Chenner, she said, or he said, go door to door. I see you, Rick. 1 second, I'm gonna answer that. You go door to door. I like to go and talk to the people. I would like to advertise the direct mail, but not sure how. I'm not too discouraged. Okay. Well, that's easy to do. You just send out 1,000 flyers, right? You send out 1,000 flyers. Just have it's your message that's gonna sell them because you have to have them pick up the phone and want to call you, they want to hire you. So your verbiage, the body of your flyer, you have to have what I call an irresistible offer. You want to have an offer on there that compel them to want to pick up the phone and call you. To at least talk to you about what's going on with the flyer, what you're talking about on the flyer. Okay, so you might say get half off of your third month price, or first month free, or you know um, access about our free carpet cleaning thing, different things like that. And then when they call you, you explain to them. Like I like to use the free carpet cleaning thing. It works for me. So I tell them if they stay with me for a year, they're up for a free carpet cleaning at the end of the year. At the end of their year. So that means within a whole year, they didn't already pay for the carpet cleaning service. So by the time that service come around through the course of the year of me just billing them month after month for just general cleaning service, then by the time that year is up and they're ready for their carpet clean, they really already done paid for it, really, right? So I have no problem with going ahead and getting the job done. So that's one that I like to use. Like I said, it's your body, it's your verbiage, it's your wording, your irresistible offer. You got to have a magnificent offer. It's got to be something about your flyer that compel them to want to pick up the phone and call you to come and do a walkthrough. Okay. Let me see. Rick says, random. How do you keep your customer files? File cabinet records. Both. Both. I have it computerized, and I also have it just filed in like a file cabinet, um, paper copy, right? Because anything can happen with your computer system, right? It can crash. Anything can happen. It could blow up, blow out, whatever the case is. Things could get distorted. Things could get messed up. So I like to have a paper version of what I have in the computer CRM software. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of different software programs. I mean, you can actually build your own type of program and really like just save it to your actual computer, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a software, but there's a lot of different software programs you can use uh, just to maintain the records and the record keeping, the bookkeeping, that type of thing. QuickBooks is the easiest thing like that I would suggest to people because there's a lot of things you can do with QuickBooks. I'm a big fan of QuickBooks, by the way. Guys, have any more questions? There's a lot of apps out too, you guys, that'll help you. A lot of business apps out. If you go to your Play Store or your Market Store, whatever they call it on your device, and just put in whatever it is you're looking for. It's a lot of apps. It's damn near an app for everything, right? And these apps are winners in many regards, many respects. So I get my supplies from the janitor supply house or store, janitor supply store. So all of my products these days are a professional product. The only time I would use non-professional product is if I'm running low, which is rare because have things on order. Everything is shipped to our warehouse. I have a warehouse that we house all the vacuum cleaners, products, solutions, things like that, and they ship it directly to the facility, and then we just actually put it in the actual unit. Actual is like a storage, so to speak. So we put it in a unit to house it, to keep it and organize. That's your liners, your trash bags, your Seafold paper towel, your roll paper towel, your your microfiber rags, vacuum cleaners. What else I have in there? Buffers, carpet steamers, carpet machines. Oh man, we got everything in there. Like I got everything. And it's crazy because I do have the equipment to do some of these other jobs. Actually, the poles for the window cleaning. We offer window cleaning service. Yeah, everything is in there. So whatever is needed, I have in there housed. And as we run low on something, then I have it computerized where we contact the distributor, they ship it there, and we get billed for it. I don't have to pay it up front. They bill us, and at a certain time a month, we pay the bill. For 1K a month, I would say professional buildings, like I said earlier, office park buildings, and industrial buildings. So professional buildings meaning like law firms or um, insurance companies, uh, realtor office, like professional places like that. I tend to see a great deal of revenue in those areas. Medical facilities are good paying, but if you're trying to really get in the, really trying to get up there, I would say like multi-unit buildings are what they call office park buildings. Those are just basically buildings that generally maybe one or two stories that have multiple companies in the one building, right? And they contract you out to clean the different offices and clean the different floors and the restrooms and things like that in that particular building. That'll get you at least 1K or better. And also plants or industrial buildings, plants, that type of thing, get you up. And this is just my own experience. This is what I found, you guys. So again, you might see somebody else. They might tell you something else that just works for them. I was awarded my first account. Is there a service that I can use for payroll service? Since it's a net 40, you got a net 40 or a net 30? Oh, you got a net 40. Um, I don't know. Let me see here. Thanks. That was one of my first account. Payroll. Well, I use paychecks to handle my payroll. You're more than welcome to talk to them. Okay. 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 Wait. Do you have employees, Kendrick? Do you have employees? Because if you need to build capital for payroll, then the best bet would be to work those accounts yourself and save that revenue. And then once you have a significant amount saved, then you can go ahead and hire somebody. Oh, you do have two. I've hired 2 employees, so they actually work for you, or you just hired them on. They're actually currently working for you. I see you, Rick. Okay, so you just hired them on, but they haven't started working for you yet. So what I would suggest you do is you can hire a payroll service, or you can get a payroll software. Just Google payroll software that you can load into your computer. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you check the reviews. Make sure you understand what you're doing with it, and you can utilize that to help you with your payroll. Or you can have a maybe like a third party, like a Paychex or a ADP or something like that, that'll be able to help you out with your payroll service. And that's just so you can kind of keep track of your numbers and to help you with your tax, doing the taxes and all of that. The software program should be able to help you with that. I wouldn't know an exact program that you can use for that, but you can Google that. Just put payroll software systems, or software payroll programs um, for that. It's just because I use Paychex. I actually use a company that does it for me. Early on, when I first did it, I was just paying in a check right out of my bank, right? So with the checks that the bank supplied to us, I would cut the check for that dollar amount and pay it directly to my employee. Channer, nope, I don't have them wear foot booties. Nope, I don't have them wear that. I'm sorry, for the residential side. Yes, I do. Well, it's available to them, but I don't pressure them to wear it as long as it you know get clean. Let me go back to Rick. Rick say, for plants, do you join supplier vendors list, or just find the right person to talk to? No, I don't join anything. I just go directly to a supplier. So you can Google in your area or in your city, your town. Google janitor supply stores in Chicago, janitorial supply stores in Detroit, janitorial supply stores in Newark, or whatever city you're in. And then it'll populate on Google, and then you contact them where you can actually drive to them, actually walk in the store, view everything yourself, set up an account with them, all of that. Get the book. They have the catalogs where you can order directly from the catalogs, generally free. You can just take the catalog with you, and you can order directly from the catalog. A lot of my people tell me they get their supplies off of Amazon, and get it shipped to them on a consistent basis. They find that it's a savings ordering on Amazon. So whatever whatever work for you. Guys, have any more questions for me? How many of you guys have paperwork? Do you have your paperwork? What I mean, your paperwork is your estimate breakdown, your estimate sheet for proposal, or to submit your estimates, your non-compete, non-disclosure agreements, your uh, your service agreements. How many of you guys have that? Do you guys have that? It's very, very important. Nothing is more damaging than going out to solicit business and not having a proper paperwork. So if they decide to hire you, or if they say, well, give us an estimate, you don't want to look dumbfounded like, oh, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? You guys would be amazed at how many phone calls I get where people, they don't have the proper paperwork, and now they're in the bind. They're like, Fabio, where do I get paperwork from? Where do I get paperwork? Like, well, I don't offer my paperwork no more, or whatever the case is. They're like, oh, please, I need the paperwork. I need the paperwork. So to help them, I don't want to see anybody fail. So I would sell them my paperwork, but that's very very important. You guys make sure you have at least decent paperwork. Okay, I'm not saying it has to be top of the line and this and that. Even if it's generic, okay, it's cool to start off with. You won't have it forever, but make sure you have decent paperwork. Okay, non-compete, non-disclosure, your invoices, your applications. Again, you might be in the street, you have your shirt on with your logo on it or your name on it or whatever, and people might ask you, well, are you guys hiring? You want to have, your business cards available. You want to have your applications. I keep that stuff. I travel with that stuff. I have that stuff right outside now in my vehicle right now. Contracts, agreements, the estimate profile sheet, estimate breakdown sheet. So I know what to charge when I go to do my estimates. So I have all of that stuff in my vehicle. I keep that stuff. So as I run low, I just replenish my folder, put more in there, business cards, all of that. It's in the vehicle right now. Okay. It's very, very important that you guys keep that because, again, you never know where your next contract is going to come from. You never know where your next employee is going to come from. Uh, when you might have to write up an invoice, right? I got an invoice, everything that I'm telling you guys to have. I actually have this stuff in my vehicle right now. I keep it on deck. I never want to be caught lacking. You know, me not having that is like me not having my my license with me when I'm driving. Do you still cold call for people? Uh, Email me, Kendrick, bookfabiohart at gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART at gmail.com. Bookfabiohart at gmail.com, Kendrick. Email me ASAP, bro. What's up, brother? Question. What's the best approach to go and get a business in case of chain of daycares, but I have to go through corporate? Um, you're saying what's the best way if you have to go through corporate? If you have to go to corporate, you're just going to contact corporate and find out the appropriate department to make the decisions for hiring in your cleaning business. So you have to deal with corporate straight up. If you're talking about just, picking up business, period, I would suggest you just door knock. You just go walk in, door to door. Meet the gatekeeper, find out who the decision maker is, talk to the decision maker, let them know, what it is you're there for. Try to get a walkthrough ASAP. You get the walkthrough, you go ahead and put your estimate in. After you put your estimate in, you make sure they understand the estimate and try to go ahead and agree by having them sign your agreement and figuring out when the first day they want you to start. That's pretty much in a nutshell how it goes. You contact the client via by phone, via by door to door. You go in door to door by phone. You figure out who the decision maker is to hire the client, the company, and you talk to that person. You figure out if they need your service, etc., etc. You offer to do the walkthrough, a quick walkthrough. I normally say, "Can we do a quick walkthrough?" You when you use the word "quick," it make it seem like it's not gonna take that long. Um, Sometimes it's not so quick after all, but that's the word I tend to use. Hi, Doctor such and such, or Mister such and such, or Mrs. such and such. Okay, great. Would it be okay if we do a quick walkthrough just to see what it is you guys need done and that type of thing? And then following the walkthrough, I take notes through the course of the walkthrough, figure out what they need done, how frequent they need the cleaning done, all of that pertinent information I need. Take it back home, you tally everything up, write it up in an estimate. You get the estimate back to them within 24 to 48 hours from doing the walkthrough. and at that point, you try to close. You try to get them on the agreement, and you figure out when they want you to start. You see, I have a 6 month contract with the hair salon. I charge $250 per month. The hair salon is about 800 square feet. I visit twice a week. Is my rate too low or too high? For twice a week, probably 800 square feet. And it don't take you that long. I think your rate is on point. Um, that would be that's not bad for 800 square feet twice a week. I would think. Excellent, thanks. I actually met the general manager today, and he told me I have to call their corporate, which is based in another state. But thanks, man. Yeah, that's how it generally works. So if you contact the manager of a facility and they tell you to contact corporate, generally speaking, they'll give you the corporate number to contact. Most times they know the department offhand too that you should contact, so they'll be able to kind of point you in the right direction like right away. Sometimes they don't know and they'll just give you the corporate number, and then you have to go through the whole searching for the right department to speak to for hiring your company for service. You guys have any more questions? If you guys got any questions about paperwork, also I say this on every video. If you got a contract, you got estimate bidding sheet or whatever you want me to take a look at what you have, I'll take a look at it. Won't charge you to take a look at it. Um, Tell you what I would do different, changes that I would make if any, and just kind of help you out, man, so your paperwork would be on par. So um, if you guys need my coaching, it's $100 an hour. Just to let you guys know, it's not anything you have to do. For anything else that you guys might need my help about or anything of that sort, book FabioHart@gmail.com. BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART@gmail.com. Be more than happy to answer. Now, if you guys send me an email and you need to talk to me, then make sure you leave your name and telephone number in that email. So that way when my assistant get the email and get it back over to me, I can call you directly. I do not answer the emails personally. I have an assistant for that. Once Jasmine, respond to your email, you feed her the details and she'll give me your number and I'll give you a call personally. Again, I do not answer my emails directly. I have an assistant for that. I do not answer the emails directly. I have an assistant. I have an assistant for that. Okay, so you leave your name and your telephone number in that email, and whatever your question is, just to kind of give me a little insight to what you're inquiring about. Okay, you can also put it in your subject too. In your subject, so if you got paperwork questions, just put paperwork. If you got cold calling questions, just put cold calling or whatever the case is. Um, Whatever the case is, right? Just put it in the subject or whatever, so at least I know what we're talking about, what's going on. If you need coaching, just put coaching. I'm letting you know now the coaching is $100 per hour. Usually 1 or 2 sessions is efficient enough because I'm very, very thorough. I don't hang up the phone unless you really understand what's going on, unless I answered all your questions. So sometimes what would be normally an hour conversation turn into an hour 30 minutes or an hour 40 minutes, whatever the case is. I don't watch the clock. I just want to make sure you guys have the proper information. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions in the interim? You have any more questions? So the key is to stay marketing, stay motivated, and have great paperwork. The key is to stay marketing, stay marketing, have great paperwork, and stay motivated. Okay? With those three things combined, you have no way to go besides up. I swear. You just have to stay relentless behind it, stay determined behind it. Every single day, you should be marketing. Every single day, you should be marketing. Not a problem, Kendrick. You email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOKFABIOHART@gmail.com. Also, put your number in there. I'll give you a call back. We can discuss the specifics. But always be marketing. Always be marketing. There's no right or wrong way to do marketing. I use banner signs, um, flyers, door to door. I just started back doing direct mail with my flyers. I'm getting an okay response from it. Sending out a lot, but I'm getting an okay response from it. Do you find that you get more clients in affluent neighborhoods? Yeah, yeah. Well, especially for residential. That's the neighborhood you want to be in, affluent neighborhoods for residential. Okay. They don't necessarily have to be mansions, but you want affluent areas. Okay. Um, and don't leave out the mansions either. Contact them too. As far as on the commercial side, I find most of my profits come from the suburbs and not the city. The city, metropolitan cities, and metropolitan areas, I find to be very, very cheap. They don't want to pay for a good service. They want the lowest of the lowest. Not all, but a lot of times. They want the lowest of the lowest. Okay. I find that the well to do counties, the well to do areas, they don't mind paying the extra buck for great service. Okay. But like I say, always be marketing, stay motivated, and have effective paperwork. If your paperwork is not there, you will get your ass caught in a jam. Okay, that's why I'm telling you. If you have a contract or you have an agreement or whatever the case is, um, and you want me to look over it, I'll take a look at what you have. If you have a non-disclose, excuse me, non-disclosure agreement, non-compete agreement, I'll take a look at what you have, tell you what to add to it, or make some suggestions to it if need be. If you got a pretty decent one, I'll let you know. I wouldn't put you through the troubles of changing nothing up if you got a pretty decent one. Okay. Um, but the paperwork is a must. If you're out here marketing right now, trying to get new clients and you don't have paperwork, I'm telling you, you're putting yourself in a hole because what's going to happen is eventually somebody is going to want you to give them numbers. And if you don't have like the template or the spreadsheet or the estimate sheet to draw up the numbers on, or you don't have a clue or you don't have an idea, get the paperwork first, you guys. Just get in and file it. Get in and file it. Make copies of it, you know, 10 copies at a time, 12 copies at a time. You use Clean Guru? Yeah, they're actually in my area of Toledo, Ohio. I know exactly about them. Uh, I'll just leave it at that. But make sure you guys have your paperwork situated in that regard. Um, Stay motivated and stay marketing. When I say market your business like a presidential campaign. That's the way I like to look at it because there's no right or wrong way to do it. You want to try a little of everything. Okay, you don't want to just do one thing and do that forever because that may not work for you off rip, But if you do a multiple things in terms of marketing, you might find something that works a little better than something else, and you just add that to your system. If you're getting a response back from that marketing piece, then chances are that marketing, whatever that piece is, whether you're using banner signs and let's say direct mail, then I would keep using that particular marketing strategy, okay, because it's working. If you're not getting any response back from it, then it could be, your approach. It could be what you're saying, on your material. It could be what you're saying over the phone. It can be the way you look if you're going door to door. I tell people all the time, don't just go knocking on people's doors looking any kind of way. Look as professional as possible. Okay? Look as professional as possible because that's what they're going to judge you on. The way you speak, how your confidence level is. A lot of people don't get hired because their confidence level is low. Their tonality is low. People don't have faith in them. They don't have faith in them because they can see you don't have faith in yourself, so they don't hire you. Okay, so I want you guys to know that, how you look. I'm not saying you have to have on your Sunday's best and need to wear a tuxedo or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is look, you know, close to perfect as possible. And that's to all my males and females here on this live. Okay, because that's what you get judged by. And the minute you walk in the door and the minute you open your mouth, they're going to judge you based on how you speak, and they're going to judge you based on how you look. They can't judge you based on how you clean because they haven't hired you yet, so they don't know how you clean. So, and you telling them you're the best cleaner in the world, don't do anything for them because the guy that came in before you said he was the best cleaner in the world. The guy that came in before him said he was the best cleaner in the world. So that they don't know how you clean. So you have to convey that professionalism. You have to have that. Your vernacular got to be together, right? You have to have a bit of insurance, about yourself. You insure, about your qualities and what you have to offer, um, and a bit of swag, man. I mean, simply put, you have to have a sense of swag, and that's for my ladies and for my fellas here. Okay, you go in and you shoot your shot. Okay, know enough about the industry. You're not gonna know everything, but know enough about the industry. If they ask you certain questions and certain things, if you don't know something, just let them know uh, you're not too sure. Don't just try to sound smarter and just say anything, right? Let them know you're not too sure about that, and you can get back with them on it. Okay, honesty is the key, especially in the very very beginning. Okay, it's very important. I'm just telling you guys what worked for me. So if it worked for me, is absolutely no reason why it couldn't work for you. I'm no better than you. I just think a little differently than most. I'm no better than you. I just think a little differently than most. And I take action. I stay persistent and consistent. Right? Every single day, I'm doing some form of marketing. I didn't say only on Mondays or only on Tuesdays. I said every single day. When I go door to door, top of the morning, ma'am, sir, question for you. How may I get in contact with the person in charge of hiring and maintenance? You asked me that earlier, I think you did. The same way. You go door to door, you figure out who the decision maker is by asking the gatekeeper. So, for an example, if I'm walking into ABC Clinic, I walk into ABC Clinic, good morning, ABC Clinic. How may I help you? Can you sign in right here? Say, great, great. Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility? Oh, that would be Todd Smith. Great. Is Todd Smith available at this time? Actually, yes, he's in the back. He has a patient or he's in a meeting or yada, yada, yada. Can you wait or would you like to come back or do you have a business card and I could pass it along to him or some flyers or something I could give to him? And then at that point, you can make your assessment as to if you're going to wait, if you're going to, just come back or if you're going to leave your material with them. And then you take their business card. You write down her name, the gatekeeper name, and you'll write down the contact person name. That way, if you have to call up there or if you have to come back, you know exactly who you spoke to initially and you know who you need to speak to. Okay? And it's just that simple. The same thing with the phones. Okay? If you send in direct mail for them to call you back, most likely it's probably going to be the decision maker that's going to call you back, or maybe the assistant that's going to call you back to inquire about what your flyer is talking about. At that point, you figure out who you're speaking to. You ask them, hey, thank you for calling. To whom am I speaking with? Oh, you're speaking with Sandy Lou. You write her name down, Sandy Lou. Okay, great, great. Sandy Lou, who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility? Same thing. You need to figure out who you're supposed to speak to for the service, and that's the person that you're going to speak to for restrooms. That's the person you're going to talk to for vacuuming. That's the person you're going to speak to for everything. To do your walkthroughs. He or she is going to be able to share all the information that you need for that particular facility once you do that walkthrough. Okay. You guys have any further questions or comments? Let me see here. Is that okay? Should I change up something or Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. If you need to email me, it's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. BOOKF like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART at gmail.com. Bookfabiohart@gmail.com. If you need to speak to me when you email me, make sure you put whatever your situation is in the subject, and then make sure you add your number and your name in the email so when she passes it along to me, I can give you a call back directly. Again, I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.